and gentlemen, wonderful YouTube watchers, Facebookers, mountaineers. We're gonna stick with that. That's what when you're all jacked up on Mountain Dew, you're just a mountaineer. There you go. I like that one. We're running with that until you guys come up with something better.
All right.
Another wonderful episode of the Mountain Dew Review.
Yes.
Today we have Atilli.
Yes. What's up, y'all?
We are going to sit back, have a cool time, discuss a little bit of his influences, beginnings, where he's going, what he plans to do. This, that, or the other. Get to know him a bit. It's he does a lot of different stuff. He's not just an actual rapper. He does some producing and designs and all kinds of stuff. So again, he's like Mr. 16 Bars, does a lot of in-house stuff. So another great episode for you guys to watch. You're gonna catch in on a little bit of tidbits here. One of the guys that have maybe a little more insight into it than some of the other guys who are just the artist. Which again, either way you roll it, more power to you guys. You're doing more than what I'm doing. I stand behind a camera and talk. I don't get on a stage. Fuck you guys. You're all assholes.
That matters. All
and
that matters.
Judgmental.
It's all that matters. It's all plays an intricate part into the ultimate big, goal, dream.
And this, I really do hope this gets out and helps people. I mean, even if it's only viewed by 10, 12 people, maybe then 10, 12 people decide, hey, let's network, let's get something, and then next thing you know, you form a
drop
super
some
group.
gems. Definitely gonna drop some gems. Definitely gonna drop some gems. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so with that, we're gonna dive into our first question with everybody.
Okay.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? What school did you go to?
So I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Was here most of my life, and then spent the other half out in Cali through school. So San Francisco, Bay Area, Oakland, but primarily here in Omaha. Went to school at Omaha North.
Second guy from Omaha North.
Yeah.
16 Bars, played football.
Yep. I said we used to play on the same team. We used to go to class, see him in class. He was more of a sophomore, senior, or junior, I think, when I seen him. He's like slightly older than me, I believe. But yeah, we went to the same school, see him in the hallways and stuff.
That's real
like
cool.
that. So,
I like how my guests tie in like that.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of people that I've either went to school with, that I work with now on music and stuff like that. So it's kind of easy because like years.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, we don't have to get through that awkward stage.
Yeah. Basically, like that's always the hard, at least when it comes to new clients and stuff, is getting over that awkwardness or working with new people. Like everybody has their way of working.
Yeah, and just kind of getting used to what they're. Because some guys take things way differently than others.
You get the serious super artists, and then you get the joking around artists.
Yeah, want to have fun and laid back guys.
Yeah,
and everybody has their own fit, guys. Don't.
Yeah, There's, I guess,
if you want to be the jokey guy having fun, man, as long as you're having fun, that's cool. If you're the serious dude and really want to go for it, go for it. Just don't talk it.
Basically, at the end of the day, just get the job done, no matter how, what it is, what you're doing, just get the job done. If you're in the studios to record a song, if it's your producers to make a beat, so just get the job done no matter what it is, whatever you gotta use, that means you gotta have 4 or 5 bottles, go ahead and do that, if you gotta do whatever drug paraphernalia, kids don't do drugs, but just saying, like,
I don't ever tell people not to do drugs, but I will tell you to do them responsibly.
Yes.
Make sure your bills are paid, your kids are taken care of.
Take care of what needs to be taken care of.
Essentially, I think the only drug you can't, there's probably like 2 of them that you can't do, and that's freaking heroin and meth.
Yeah.
No offense, but I've yet to meet anybody that does that and don't fuck their shit up.
Yeah, you know that I'm not gonna lie, we put it that way. It's like,
well, I guess maybe like severe cokeheads. I've seen some of them, but
but
but for the most part,
there's not too many. Like, I mean,
It's the meth and heroin, and it's not even heroin. It's that fentanyl. You goofy guys like.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean,
Just
unless
smoke
you're
weed.
ACDC or some like
Unless
super
you're
heavy pop. I was like, I don't even think they would do something that heavy on that level. So no, yeah, it's like you're right. Like,
just smoke weed. Maybe drink some alcohol. I
there you
don't
go.
drink, but if you can
Chill out.
if you can handle your alcohol, enjoy it, and just
Whatever gets you in a creative vibe, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just about getting the job done and going in there. However, whatever puts you in your creative vibe, whatever brings you out, whatever's gonna give you the best, or whatever's gonna help you deliver the best. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you want to make sure that whatever it is, you don't go over the amount, because people know when their levels. You know when. All right, if I have 2 shots here, I'm good. If I have 5, 10 shots, I might be over.
I'm
Like,
gonna call you out on this one, no name sensei.
right.
But he's a perfect example. He drinks a little bit before he sets, catches a nice buzz, but he knows where to kind of limit himself,
Yeah.
and it helps him take the edge off. And totally understandable. Like
Yeah. Like you want.
some people smoke a little weed before they get on the stage or whatever.
You don't want to be on there nervous. Like people can sense that. It's
But the
like,
deal is making sure you're not getting to the point where you're slurring and making a. And honestly, though, in reality, especially if you're trying to conduct business and sell yourself on a professional level, you probably should stay sober at the events, even
all
afterwards, until you get to maybe an after party. I mean, that's just an honest opinion from me.
yeah, that's a good opinion. Like that's a good advice. That's a good tip, honestly.
I mean, if you think there's somebody there scouting you and you're looking to promote yourself and sell yourself, staying so, and regardless of how it looks in the scene, professionally, it does not look good.
Yeah.
Being fucked up.
No, especially now, at least now on stage. Like I said, stage is showmanship. That's where you're showing your dedication, your brand,
and
last thing
if you
is
can't handle yourself
stumbling
before
around.
you're famous, pre-fame, underground local music, and you're up there
I
acting
said the
like
same
G.G.
thing.
Allen, there's only one G.G. Allen, bro. We don't need no more. Like, so being fucked up on stage is overplayed.
Yeah.
And again, especially if you're afterwards, some people aren't going to take you serious. Like, if you're not going to remember the conversation you're having with somebody as you're trying to make a business deal, you probably shouldn't be making the business deal, or shouldn't be doing whatever you're doing to make that. Just, I'm not saying don't have no fun, but I'm just saying if you do plan on trying to sell yourself to somebody at a show, make sure you're sober.
You're in peak position.
Because it's just, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Or and not like being an ass or stupid, but I mean, like, you can make a shitty deal and sign a contract and be all fucked up thinking it was a good deal, and then next morning wake up like, motherfucker, I really, goddamn, what'd I do? I'm just saying, we have all had those moments. Stay
Yeah,
professional.
boy, haven't we all?
There's a reason I don't drink anymore. Like, I was not the best decision-making person while I was under the influence.
Understood that.
And that's why I kind of encourage people to make the best choices. So, we kind of got a little off topic here.
My fault.
But that's all right. No, that's the whole point of this. We get to know each other a bit.
Yeah.
What got you into doing music then?
My dad, honestly, I just had this conversation with somebody the other day, and it's like, I guess I never really realized I've been doing music, little bits and pieces throughout my life since I was younger, but mainly my dad. He used to have a band that he was a part of. Couldn't tell you the name of the band, but he used to be part of a band. My grandma told me stories about how he leave and, had a concert or a gig to go to and stuff like that. And then the earliest childhood memory that I have is we were just downstairs and he was playing the keyboard, and it'd be me and my little brother, and he would try to get us to rap, to him and stuff like that. That's back when they had like the reels and stuff like that.
Analog.
Yeah, it was all analog stuff. So he had the reels, the Casio player and all that stuff, and he was trying to get us to rap to some of the beats and stuff. And I couldn't really freestyle at the time, so really can't now. I mean, I can, but yeah, it's still a work in progress. But that's the earliest child. Probably was like 8 or 9, and then from there it's been like music stuff like ever since. So I did like drumline, did drill team. I played. Obviously went to school for it in LA and stuff like that. And then choir in middle school, they had me in choir and things like that. So I was always just around music. Yeah, it was
growing up.
it was either going to be something in music that I was going to do. I was going to do eventually. Just didn't know what.
No, and that's I've kind of noticed a theme when the artist whose parents are musically
Yeah.
already doing something musically
Mm-hmm.
tend to be more involved in just writing lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so some of these guys are just, lyricists, which is fine, and, they have somebody else make beats for them
Yeah.
and stuff, and that's perfectly fine. I can't do none of it any whatsoever, so I'm,
You could.
I'm proud of you guys. You guys got talent with it. So don't think anything's ever bad, but
Yeah.
then when we find out, like, I think it's just growing up around music gives
Yeah.
you more of an ear for it.
Yeah.
So then you guys not only have the concept of writing lyrics, but then understand beat compositions and
Yes.
structure.
He had a conversation with me. I remember this conversation because we were walking outside the house and he was just like, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna be a rapper. And he just looked and he was just like, well, what are you gonna talk about? Like, what are you gonna be? What are you gonna do? And at that time, like, he was like, who are you? And I couldn't, what I'm saying? I couldn't answer that question. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna talk about. Like, what I'm saying? Like, 12-year-old,
I'm just-
11-year-old, like, what?
Just gonna rap, Dad.
Yeah, what I'm saying? But the crazy part is he didn't tear it down. He actually turned around. I think Bow Wow was coming out at that time, like Little Romeo and all them. So like when he did, he took me into like the computer room. We were watching like the videos, and I was watching. What I'm saying? He was like, "Well, that's his uncle. Look, you see how he's doing, and this and this and this." And so he kind of helped mold that direction of kind of like, "Hey, like that's what you want to do." Like, okay, so yeah, I've had even his kind of support in a sense too, what I'm saying, with the music. Mom, not so much, but
Well, your dad was already a rock star.
yeah, like mom, I don't think seen that side coming because there was other things. I wanted to be like an astronaut, and I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to go to the army, all types of stuff like that. So rap was probably like, what I'm saying, or artistry in general, just was like, didn't see that one coming. At least, what I'm saying, from her side.
I can definitely see that. I mean, I took 4 years of ROTC and wanted to join the army, and then they invaded Iraq, and I said, yeah,
like
change your mind, change your mind.
happened, and you're just like, okay.
Like, I was all cool
well,
with Afghanistan, and then Iraq happened, and I'm like, yeah. A couple of my buddies didn't make it back, and I'm like,
Like, I wanted to join the Air Force ultimately, but because I'm supposed to actually wear glasses, I knew my eyesight wouldn't allow for that. Because ideally, like I said, I wanted to be an astronaut, so you have to be kind of a fighter pilot.
you want to know why I didn't want to be in the Air Force?
Why?
I'm colorblind, and you can't be colorblind and fly an aircraft.
To what extent, though?
I don't-
Because I mean,
I'm
what
red-
does color would
I'm
have
red,
to do
green,
with?
colorblind, and
Okay.
so they told me I couldn't become a pilot. I couldn't do radar detection because of the.
Coloring. Okay, that's what I was. I'm like, well, I mean, you got a symbol.
I'm
You
like,
can tell
look,
what a Russian
I'm like,
or
look, dickheads. Call of Duty has a
Right.
color inversion on their game.
That is true though.
Like
So they
if Call
could-
of Duty can do a color inversion, you're telling me with the fucking military budget of world conquest proportions, you can't color inversion your radar,
I'm pretty sure they
dickheads?
I mean, he was pretty sure
Sounds
they
like
got
they're-
glasses for that, don't they? Too.
They
Right.
do, and my wife has tried to talk me so hard. Okay, first off, I was really mad. Her and my friend talked me into taking the test to find out actually which colors I can and
Yeah.
can't see.
Okay.
So I always thought I seen the color green. Turns out everything I thought was green, I can only see the color red, and what is green appears red to me.
Okay.
And so I thought my whole life, 34 years. Thank you, Sarah, my lovely wife, and Doug for ruining my entire perception of my last 34 years of my life. found out that everything I thought was green, like leaves on trees,
Yeah.
I thought I seen green. That's the color to me looks red. Because I couldn't explain if I seen red or green because I didn't know the difference between the two. And then we discovered I actually.
How does that work with traffic lights?
Well, the top light turns white,
Okay.
or bottom light's white. Green light is white. Red light's red.
So just try to
I have a hard
imagine
time
you-
telling the difference between the yellow and the reds.
Try to imagine you just speeding through this.
If it's a flashing yellow light, it's real hard to tell.
Like, oh, somebody just ran that red light. Must be out.
And I'm a professional painter.
Oh, see?
Yeah, but see, they label you remember them?
Well, yeah.
You remember them pictures when you were a kid, like in kindergarten, and they'd have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'd be like red, green, and blue, and then they'd have all the ones and twos, and when
Yeah.
you're done, it made a pretty picture.
Yeah.
I get paid a fortune to do that for a living. That's how I look at it. I don't pick them colors. They tell me
Touche.
where to put them. I did that shit in kindergarten, bro, and they paid me good money.
Okay.
That's their fault.
Yeah. Okay. I never thought of it like from that perspective of like colorblind wise, like, you know, like thinking of it in dog terms, I guess black and white.
Well, I don't
wise,
see.
but
I see colors.
Yeah,
but
that's
just
why I was
not-
like,
I don't
just-
see
it's
every
kind of
color.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to kind of imagine like.
That's why I wear a
not
lot
being
of
able to
tie
see
dyes, a
certain
lot of
color.
grays.
Okay.
That's why everything in my house is gray, real mellow.
Well, tell the Air Force that they should give you a chance.
That's discrimination against
You know what I'm
colorblind
saying?
people.
They should give you a chance to go to fly one of those F-22s.
That's all right. I flew one time and really didn't like it. I felt like William Shatner freaking out, thinking the imp was tearing the plane apart, and like couldn't handle it. And I'm never getting back in an airplane.
I've only flown one time, and I think that's probably the time that I said I'm done being like, I don't want to get back.
I did not like it. We flew over the Great Lakes, and I said, "What in the world do you guys have me getting into?" I'll drive. Sorry, the places I can't drive to, I don't need to visit you anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not missing out on much. I'm not a world traveler. They come to me.
Well, there we go. There you go. That's how it's
Oh,
supposed to be. Make
shit.
it come to you.
So, when did you drop your first album?
When did I? Ooh.
Because obviously you've been into music for a while,
Yeah. My
or maybe
first,
mix your first album.
my first actual like this is it was in high school. I had a teacher by the name of Miss Locks, and they had a music program out there called Music Tech. So basically, it was a classroom full of Apple computers and keyboards and stuff behind them, and so you just went in there, and at the time I was in music, so to me it was like, oh, I get to go in there and just play and make beats all day, and get great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
How cool is that? I just get to go in there and boop boop boop. It's cool. But she actually taught, like, you know what I'm saying, just composing, basic compositions and stuff like that, how to
Beat measurements, and
And then she seen
not
that
just copy and paste stuff.
Yeah, she seen that I actually had a true interest in it, and I forgot what it was. I think it was called. Back then it was called Noma or something like that. But it was a program after school, and so she got me into that as far as just something to do after school. But that's how we all during that time we talked about music and stuff like that, because I had to be in our classroom before we had to go. So she just like put me in this. She put me in this contest, and it was a contest actually for the entire class. But she had put me in this contest, and all we had to do basically was just compose something original. And at that time, I was just making beats, so to me it was just like loop loop. But then I was like, how do I take this like a step further? And I was looking around, and everybody in the classroom was like sitting there, you know what I'm saying, making beats and stuff, or I think it was like videos you could do, or pictures. It was something of art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Apply a music basic composition to either a slideshow or something. And I just remember at the time, that's when, backstory, like that's why mom, kind of wasn't really into the music side of it, because at the time I was writing raps then at that time in my room. And my mom didn't really approve them, so I was hiding notebooks and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like at that, like I just remember I had ripped the page out, and I was like, I'm gonna write something. And I pulled the page out. I was talking about my grandpa and the relationship that he had with my grandma. And like something was just like, I'm gonna rap to this. Like I don't know what told me to. It was just like I'm gonna rap to it. And so like I remember she made everybody in the classroom quiet. Like quiet. First time I was nervous as hell. So I'm like, oh no, like this is my first recorded rap. Like, all right. And then no, like I rapped it. I had to mix it, and then she entered the contest. And I remember going to the contest, and everybody was getting awards, and they were coming down to everything, and they go like, "That's all the awards," and I'm sitting there just like, "All right, you know, I didn't win." And then they come up and they go, "But we got this other prize," you know what I'm saying? Like this one other entry that was in, and we really felt it, and like we really wanted, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have enough awards to give, like so we really wanted. So they turn around and they played my song, and I was just like, "Holy crap!" And they're like, "Yeah, here's a trophy, and like here's like they gave me like $100 for his Apple Music at that point in
Nice.
time, and it was just like it was Nebraska Digital Media Award, which is when I won my first like award for music and actually mixing, and that's when I was just like, I like first official project body bit probably didn't come until 2 years after that. I graduated in '09, so that's when I did that, and then first project was in like '09. Or not '09, like a little bit after that, it's like 11, somewhere in there, 10, 11, and we were in a basement, I believe. Yeah, my grandma's basement. Recorded some there, recorded all over the place at that point in time. That's when I had friends and stuff like that. They were trying to help me, and been doing it ever since. From there, like honestly, yeah, like that's the first. We thought about that one. Like that's the first thing I ever mixed, produced, put together.
Tilly basement
composed.
tapes.
Yeah, like literally, that was like when I think about that, like man, actually, like that, yeah, that was the first time I actually put together. Like with drum lines and stuff is different because like you just drumming and so you're just like cadence and you're just recording cadences and stuff. You're not really playing towards a, but like actual putting that and then drums and vocals and
Yeah, just actually making it.
yeah, actually making a complete first song was not until 2009. I was a junior, senior actually. So that was this first time ever actually mixing, composing. That's when they had GarageBand and stuff like that. She didn't have like FL, like what people use now, FL, and they were starting with the very basics. There was no Logic. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even think of things like that yet. So it's man, that was like the first project I did. My first project total or first.
So then you did yours on your own, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Locally, how did you start getting into the scene? Like, what were some of your first local influences?
You want a true story? I give you an exclusive. Trust me, out of this, if y'all watch this, y'all get an exclusive. So the way I got, I guess, into the scene and how I guess people hear, I'm a quiet person. So anybody that knows me, I don't really talk a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? At least in public, like I don't know. I'll walk up, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk and hey, what's up and stuff like that. But like normally most of the time I'm just like quiet, especially before a show, and I'm like really really quiet. I don't talk when I say nothing. But so I moved out of my mom's house in '09, '10. Started doing music, and crazy story, ISO, because we all went to school together. Is the first person I actually reached out to. I said like that's the verified first time I heard him rapping was with MC Evers. We were in school in the lunchroom, and every morning basically they was drumming on the tables, and you just seen ISO rapping, and you seen Scarsworth rapping, and early in the mornings there was a circle and it was him, and it was Queso, like a lot of the people that are bigger names now from Omaha were in a circle. We all went to North, and I was that freshman. I was just like, like you know what I say? Like it was cool to me. Like it was so.
That was actually before ISO was ISO.
Yeah, that was reality. That was Terrell. Like that was before any of that, and They were
Every
just,
once in a while on Facebook, you'll catch a gem of somebody posting like an old reality shirt or something. And it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to catch that because you're like, man. My nephew's a huge ISO fan. My brother's oldest son. And I
yeah,
took him to the 420 show, and
he's dope.
he just thought like so. Strawstone had gotten us in there and everything, and my nephew just thought it was so cool and how cool ISO was, and the fact that he's just really down to earth,
Man,
and my
to
nephew's
see-
just really into it, and it was so cool to listen to my nephew tell me about how his name used to be in reality and things.
Yeah.
And so I entertained.
Who's your nephew?
My nephew is Johnny Sherry. He lives in.
More if I
Council
ran
Bluffs.
into him or something. Did he go to school here? Or?
No,
Okay.
Council Bluffs.
Okay.
But he was telling me all about it, and it's just so funny because I just entertained the idea like I had no idea, and he was teaching me all this new information about ISO.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
Because he was just so full of information about ISO, I was just like, dude, like when they were doing the protesting out in on 72nd and Dodge, my nephew has a picture of him right next to ISO, and he was
Oh,
so
that's what's
proud
up.
of it.
okay, like
Yeah.
it's good to hear, like to see, like man, I can't tell you, like from my
And that
side,
show
it's
was
good
9
to
days
see-
before his 21st birthday, so I was like, I'll spoil you for your birthday.
Oh,
I'll take
bad.
you to this ISO show.
That's good. That's good.
And
Did you
so-
get to meet him and all that stuff?
Yep.
Did the VIP and all that?
Good picture and all that fun stuff,
Good.
and he was a little too fan struck to talk too much.
I've heard people like with me, like I said, like we grew up. We like not grew up, but I watched them through high school, and then what happened was I remember I was doing a song, and I think I had seen one of his songs before. I didn't know he was like had recorded and actually put music together, but I knew that he had did music, and I had seen a video, and so I had just emailed him, and I was just like, hey, like I think you're dope, like let's collab, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And that was the first time like we actually collabed. I went and grabbed him and went back to my apartment and recorded like tracks. I can tell you there's so many unrecorded like release ISO and Atilli tracks that aren't out, and he might have them on his hard drives. Like we done went through so many hard drives, computers, done like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many songs that we done had, but that's what got me into the local scene a little bit. He started doing his thing. I started talking more to as I was doing music. I had people started pointing me out to who I needed to talk to, and so like there's same like you when you're like, it seems like I just know everybody. It's like yeah, like from very like I'm 30 now, so like from the age of like almost 19, like I was just introduced to like so many different. This person raps. This person does this. This person does that. This person does this.
And
like,
you work with a ton of different talent.
Yeah.
Like you have a
Open.
revolving door of just, come work with me, come work with me.
It's I don't know what it is but I mean it's the ethic. Like we were talking about business earlier. You know what I'm saying? It's there's a time to play and then there's a time of seriousness, and that's when it comes to me. Like I'll play around. You know what I'm saying? I'll drink. I'll make, you know what I'm saying, smoke. We'll sit there and play beats and make over. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch and like not do shit. But then you can even ask my lady, like I don't feel right when I don't have something completed. Like you know what I'm saying? Like something's got to get done. So there's very few days you see it's a day of, oh, he was just bullshitting in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like-
we just went in there and had a smoke session.
yeah, like there's very rare times of that, just because like gotta keep going, like we got things to do. Like the way I look at it, every second that I'm not pushing the pedal is the next second that somebody else is pushing the pedal closer to that dream. And it's not necessarily being there first, but it's opportunities. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? An opportunity for you to have
He might
advanced
talk to the person
first
that
before.
you had that opportunity had you just put a step forward.
Yeah, and he kept pushing it, and so that's the way I look at it. Is just like I can't stop because there's somebody else is either on the same level where I'm at, or even you know what I'm saying, 2 steps closer. Like so, like with me, with everybody that I work with, they're ultimately like super professional and stuff like that. I don't have like sessions where you know there's just a bunch of people in the studios and stuff like that. Like a lot of it's one-on-one personal.
You're not
time.
like, hey, I seen you rapping last week and you had 17 of your homies. Go ahead and bring them into
Yeah,
the
like
studio
no,
with you too.
I hate that. Like y'all hearing it from me on the. I hate
Like-
that. The worst.
Like
sessions.
we need the 6 guys that were waving towels on stage with you last night in the studio too to hype
Yeah,
you up.
I get security, I get having your company, your entourage, but at the end of the day, just personal belief, if you're in that much trouble that you gotta walk around with that many people, you might want to reevaluate then where you're going to start off. But
You might want to
you
get
know-
your own studio.
yeah,
and
you
shit,
might want to
know.
start doing that then if you know. So it's like
No, I only make that joke because there's a lot of guys that think it's cool just to have 20 people on stage with them doing nothing, and it's only 2 guys rapping, and it drives me nuts. And I totally get having your buddies around there, but keep them on the fucking floor, man. Make them
Even
mosh,
something
slam dance.
like even
Like, get the fuck off of the goddamn venue stage, bro.
like there's no reason to have unless any of them are rapping.
There's that
I hope they're
comedian
your hype man or
Hannibal
something.
Buress is like, you don't need 27 motherfuckers on stage.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, go watch the dude do your taxes and ask if he got 27 other guys behind him hyping him up. Yeah, that's a good plus sign. Plus sign.
You
Plus
know what I'm
sign.
Like you don't need that. You're supposed to be staying out anyway. Like I understand the hype man. I understand. You know what I'm saying. Your DJ up there. You know maybe your homie that's up there that's actually been down. But to have Joe Blow and everybody else down the street that really didn't do anything to get you to this success doesn't make any
again,
sense.
if they're really not even hyping you up,
Yeah.
it's just the deal. Because most of the time they're
They're
just
just there for the atmosphere and they're enjoying it off of your
like
hard work.
they're doing the goth dance from South Park up on stage, and it's like,
So,
bro.
like, yeah, I have very like my
So,
sessions are very
like
personal.
Atilli said, keep it professional if you are going to go to a recording session or an engineering session. Bring minimal people with you.
Minimum people.
I mean, that equipment's expensive. It's not cheap. Some
Come
of these guys are
prepared.
doing it out of their houses, so they don't want a lot of different guys in and out of their house. I mean, have a little respect for that.
Right.
Make sure you have your shit on point and you are prepared.
Yeah.
Like, make sure everything you have is on your flash drive, labeled, ready to go, or
Beats.
able to be
Make sure your
accessible.
lyrics are actually written, because that's the number one thing that eats up. Like, don't get me wrong, as an engineer, we love it because we're just like, all right.
Right,
like,
I get paid by the
yeah,
hour.
we're getting paid by the hour. So if you
But-
want to spend your time in there, right?
Here you got a guy that wants to make money off you, but not rip you off.
Yeah,
Make-
it's like I'm not
make-
trying to rip.
come
sake
with a
of time.
completed song. Like, and if it's 90% finished, cool. But don't come there with like an idea and then hope to get a song at the end of the day and it be cheap.
Like that one song, there's one session where they went through and they were on YouTube, and it was just like this beat and the next beat. I'm not feeling this song. And then you spend 30 minutes to an hour. So you spend an hour, $40 with me just to drink, smoke, and let's go play beats.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm mad. Can't be mad at that. Like, okay, whatever.
But you could have done that yourself.
But yeah, you
Pre-research.
You could have been did that before, so
Or
now
at
you
least,
wasted.
especially like you said, searching YouTube and stuff. Like, if you guys are gonna go that route,
Like, why didn't you already say that
and
before?
maybe if you're not 100% guaranteed on it, come with a
Maybe.
little list.
But
And be like,
that's-
Tilly, what do you think about these?
That's that's communication with your engineers. That's where a lot of
But
things
going
fall.
there and just being like, all right, let's,
Come,
get-
come prepared.
Prepare.
Don't come too sauce. Don't bring an entourage. Be on time. You know what I'm saying?
don't,
Be on,
and that doesn't just go for production either, guys. Be on time to your interview here. Be on time to your shows. If there's an artist check in, don't be a douchebag and show up 5 minutes before your set, bro. Because hopefully, I hope you guys start getting charged out the ass for that shit. You guys deserve not to make money being a douche like that.
I tell people
Like, that's
all the
just
time.
rude because the DJ can't prepare, sound guy can't prepare,
Facts.
the promotion guy can't prepare. The door guy is sitting there like, well, who the fuck's just walking into this show with 6 people and not paying? I mean, shit's planned
Yes.
out and prepared for a reason. So, show up on time. You're booking an hour of Tilly. I hope he charges you if you're late.
Like, bro, you said you'd be here at 5, you showed up at 5:30, you ate $20.
I tell people now, like, because I do, this is how you get is where future engineers out there, anybody coming up, one thing that my lady has instilled in me, so, you know what I'm saying, shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my girl, but deposits are huge. Deposits are a huge thing. Why? Because nobody one's going to put down money that they
Want to lose.
Yeah, just to lose. But in the off chance of that communication professional, I tell people all the time, you got an hour before your start time or 2 hours before your start time to let me know of any rearranging that needs to be
Oh,
done.
and that's even more.
So,
motherfuckers, you get 24 hours. Fuck you. You cancel after 24 hours, you lose your money. That's how real life works with
until 2 hours
anything.
before that. If you can
You know,
give me 2 hours and say, hey, look, I'm not going to make it 2 hours, cool, we'll reschedule it, you keep your deposit, we'll move on to another date. Because then, you know what I'm saying, that 2 hours, I'm always getting calls, and so it's like, I could have put somebody else here, I could have left and went to do this, I could have.
It's just your time in general.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you guys value your time at money?
Basically.
I'm pretty sure you do. So value your engineers and your promoters and your bookers' time too. Don't dick them around and think pulling out and doing dumb shit's cool, because I'll tell you, there's one thing that's nothing more annoying is okay. So that'd be like me putting in a paint bid, gassing these guys up that I was gonna come do their work, and then 5 minutes before I was supposed to be at their house starting painting, and be like, oh yeah, I decided I'm not gonna paint your house no more. Go find somebody else. Well, that whole 3 weeks I've been dicking them around. They could have found somebody else.
Could have been.
You know, that's just rude as shit.
All types of stuff. And
You
so
know,
that it all
real life
comes
situation,
down
if you're
respect
trying to-
your craft.
like
Respect
respect yourself, because
Yeah, respect
Because
yourself, your
if
craft.
would
That's
you
it.
like somebody else to whatever you're gonna go do money for, do that to you? No, you wouldn't. It's just value other people's time along with your time. Be respectful. I mean, again, if you're complaining about how people treat you when you're going to an engineer's house or a producer's house, well, maybe it's because not everybody has nice things to say about your unprofessional conduct. You know, and like things get around. It's
A lot
not.
of people, it's not even the music. Like, honestly, it's just the professional, the level of professionalism.
Most
with
of the
it,
issue
you know?
in this town is professionalism.
It's the professionalism of it. It's not. It's
And
not
I'm
even
not
nothing
saying,
with the talent.
and I'm not saying anybody's really unprofessional. I'm just saying they don't really have a grasp of how to take it.
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, it's not that no one's like super unprofessional. It's just like, okay, there's just certain things because these things in the big side of it, you know what I'm saying? Then you're talking.
Some of them are short planning stuff without looking at the bigger picture, not knowing exactly what they want to do, so they bail out on stuff.
Yeah, like,
and that
costs money.
that's
on that
unprofessional.
Like, that's a lot of money for, you know what I'm saying, on their end, on the industry side, to be like, yeah, so
I mean,
show up.
you
We're
know,
out of like
good,
50K for this session.
You book a bunch of people to come in, and then they all bail out, and you're like, all right, well, and then you go, okay, well, this guy hit me up, hit him up. Oh, well, I already went and got that done. Well, now you should feel like a dick. You're costing him money.
Yeah, at that end.
Like after he was doing you a square to give you a solid deal to book you, you know. And again, that's why deposits are a great thing.
Yeah.
It's not pay to play, and it's investing in yourself.
Basically.
Plain and simple. If you can't put $50 down, sell $5-10 tickets,
Put it down.
and go. If you think you honestly deserve to get paid to perform in Omaha, there's like 10 people in this town that deserve it. 10. The rest of you guys are getting there. Just put that in your heads. I'm not lying to you. There's 10 of you that really deserve to get paid. And I'm not talking about the bigger names in town. I'm talking about the littler guys. There's about 10 of you. Well, maybe a little more, but there's not a lot of you. Out of 200, it's probably 2%. So get out of your big ass egos and realize if you can't bring 5 fans to a show and pay a $50 deposit, then don't ask to get booked, because the shit's not free. Sound guy costs money. Security costs money. Venues cost money. Printing of the tickets cost money. The designing of the flyer cost money. The promoter's time cost money. Ask Devin Ulrich. Ask Justin Strawstone. Ask Jeff Rahm and Kendra Rahm, and ask Doug Smith.
Yeah, Doug
and
all them.
ask
Bacon,
AJ
you know,
Madrid
yeah,
and Bacon
all them,
and all them guys how much money this stuff costs. It's not free. There's not a magic rap fairy hip hop
Yeah,
fairy
that, like, none of that's
presents
gonna
you
happen
guys
for
this,
you,
okay?
like, none
You know,
of it. We
maybe-
just talked about that.
Maybe
like,
one day UNICEF will get into doing rap promotion for you guys and start giving away fucking free fucking shows to the homeless. Who knows? But
Yeah.
until then, guys, understand that deposits are very important. Not for yourself, not just for yourself, but
It
for the
secures-
people. Because then it
secures the
shows
business,
it
secures
shows
you, it secures
it shows the
time.
promoters you take yourself professionally. It shows your producers and your engineers that you take yourself professionally and seriously.
No.
Because if you honestly plan on doing it, then what's the problem with the deposit? Because otherwise, say it gives you a stack of tickets and tells you, well, they're $15 a piece. Keep 5, give me 10. You need to sell 10 of them. It's the same fucking thing, idiots. Do you not know how to do math?
Thing
Like,
is,
I'm just letting you know how that works.
people think
Like,
that bringing
and then
these
at that part,
artists in
you're
is
selling.
easy, and it's
you're-
not. Like, it costs to
And
bring
then-
in a
And
certain
then,
artist,
especially
you know?
if you're getting on a national act tour.
Yeah, like, it costs to
You're
bring
gonna
in
have to
these
pay to
people.
get on that. Like, there's no way you're gonna, unless you're honestly got a draw. And again, that's 10 of you, 2%, that got a draw. The
I
rest of
give
you guys,
5. I think there's a 5% here. I
well,
feel like
there's a strong 2% that guarantee it
Yeah.
can bring money making,
yeah.
and there's 3% that can break even,
Okay,
and
I
then
can see that.
95% of you cost them money.
I feel that. Yeah, a lot of it is because like they just don't know. It's just like it's like put it this way. I'm not shut off to anybody. I work with anybody who's professional. So like you just gotta come and approach me professionally. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. So I done talked with Tidro and a couple different artists on just different things.
Hit up
like-
ISO and ask how much of a deposit these guys got to put down on a studio that they want to
Yeah.
go use.
Yeah.
Trust me, them guys ain't just getting in there off their
Yeah,
name.
he might be cool because he's that strange,
But I mean, prior to that,
yeah,
though,
but prior for that, yeah.
you know
like,
what I mean?
Blaze,
When he
the
was
Lad.
still big enough, not on Strange, but to get signed to Strange. Ask him how much he was paying for studio time at a real professional studio.
Yeah. Alfonso, yeah, it's
You
not
know,
cheap.
these guys don't give it
Alfonso's
away for
not
free.
cheap.
But the
Like,
thing is he marketed himself and did it and stayed professional.
well, and that and the hunger. I mean, you know,
I mean, if you guys want an example, ISO stays very, very professional at
no matter what,
every one of his shows.
no matter what.
He legitly is one of the most professional guys out of Omaha. Hands down, compared to, if you guys want an example and need to look at something, right there. He's doing numbers too. And there's no lie on that. That guy, he's going to be living off this. His kids could probably be living off this soon. You know?
You got a few heavy up there. If you guys want to, like, you know what I'm saying, artists to look out for that are out here that you know what I'm saying, I give my pick on, like, who you're looking at, like, ISO being one of them, but you
And
got,
I mean,
like,
even
Sky
people that are
Reeds, the Yadas.
independent. Look at Bacon. I mean,
Yeah,
Bacon's doing good
Bacon's-
numbers and going out of town and doing tours and festivals. And you got Big Mista and Dredd going out of town.
That's what I'm
doing
saying. Those are
numbers.
those 10. You know what I'm saying? Out of those
You
10
know?
that you're talking, it's like
So
those
there's
are
other
the
guys that
are-
aren't signed to major labels, but they keep themselves professional.
We'll keep it extremely professional. I say this tour with Tony.
I mean,
is
they
extremely
party and
professional,
stuff like that, and you see it. But trust me, I see the other end of stuff too. They keep it extremely professional.
You got to. Like,
I mean, if you guys
you
want-
never know who you're across. That I've always been told, you never know who you're across. Like, they may not. I mean, Omaha is the #1 place for it, whereas like the person don't look like who. You know what I'm saying? He could be in some raggedy jeans and you know what I'm saying, ripped tee and have
Got some paint all over
millions and a connection. You know what I'm saying? A connection to a major industry. Like, you never know who you're talking. Like, just be
There's one-
professional. Act.
I can tell you this, there's one hidden gem in this town that most people don't know exists here, and I'll tell you what, when he watches you, I'm just saying, like, these guys just don't understand, like,
It's how it's supposed to be. As long
you
as
know,
you're acting
like, I'm just
professional,
telling
like,
you, conduct yourself in a proper manner, and there's people out here that, yeah, they might not invest $1 million in you, but they can give you some of
Some
the
resources that-
best, like,
It's worth the resource that they have is
trust
worth
me,
the
what they can do
millions,
for you is
like,
worth you
it's
acting professional. Hands
basically.
down.
They
I
can either
mean-
hand you a check or give you an opportunity that will hand you a check later on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's,
or teach you that,
yeah, or
what
just
you
teach
need.
you.
you know, there's quite a
It's
few,
almost
I mean,
really like putting the bag in your hand.
hands down,
At that point.
you know, you got Big Dog and Surreal and stuff that they were some of the first local rappers in this town pushing major numbers.
Yeah.
You know, with Rowdy Jesus and Noise Wave, they really solidified that, you know, Midwest, Omaha, hip hop rap.
There were some of the first ones I was
legitimately a
listening
thing.
to. Bacon was some of the first artists I was listening to.
I mean, you
growing up.
guys don't believe me. Look, 1990. Oh, you can't read it because the thing. It's a cassette tape of Noise Wave from 1997. I mean, they've been around for a while. So, like, if these guys are giving you advice, take it.
Yeah, like I watch Surreal. I listen to Surreal a lot. I listen to Bacon growing up. Like I even talk about it now, where it's like, man, I was walking into the gas station getting one of the Bacons. You know what I'm saying? CDs, but that's the type of hustle like they had. Like, and so that's who I've been following, who I've been watching. That's how I kind of got into the scene from that side of it. It was just connections, being professional.
You know,
walking
again,
in,
yeah, AJ the Dread has been around for.
minute.
I'm not trying to call you guys out on your age. I apologize. Let me rephrase
We're all
that.
relatively about the same, so it's fine.
He's
I
very
think, for them.
experienced.
Yeah.
These guys are all experienced. I'm sorry for calling you guys out on your age. You guys are all 22.
Old. Yeah, they not old. We just experienced some.
We're
some
just really
wisdom,
young.
some-
We're super young.
we've got some. Well, I'm looking for like a Yoda kind of, you know. We just been
We
here
got some Jedi masters of the trade.
Yeah,
here.
like we've been around for quite. Look, like you should look like this, but nah, like it's. But we've been good, like nah. It's just.
So I guess the most important part about this one is stay professional.
Yeah.
Hands down, guys. I mean,
Stay professional at the end of the day, and that'll get you to work with anybody. Honestly, like
again, Tilly works with everyone. Staying professional and
can't
I
tell
mean-
you how many doors have been opened for the professionalism, and just dedicate yourself, you know, to something. Don't let that drive die, or don't let that drive, basically die. As soon as you lose the drive, whatever you have that passion is going to die with it, you know.
yeah, if you don't like it, don't love it, or are not enjoying it, there's really
Like,
and you
enjoy
can
what
still
guys
enjoy
do.
it. You just might have to figure out a little different method.
But don't, you know what I'm saying, don't let that deteriorate your professionalism, because I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
have
they
the
get-
tears, and it's like, no, like, dude, just let
Start
this-
getting a
you know
little
what I'm saying?
sour about it, and then
Yeah,
next thing you know, they're like,
They're unprofessional about it, and it's like, no, it's just, bro, like, you just, like, dedicate yourself to it, actually take it seriously, put 100% to it, like, honestly, I think you can accomplish anything, like, I don't think I'm the best rapper at all, but it's like, I've made a lot of waves that
well,
I'm around people.
I'm a big
so-
fan of telling people nobody's the best.
Yeah, you
Like,
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, again, I support everybody in this town.
Mm.
I do not like all of your guys' music. You know what I mean? But I will support
People
the
got
shit
that.
out of you. I'll buy your music. I'll buy your
People
merch.
don't accept that. Like,
I'll
you know
go
what
to
I'm
your
saying?
shows. But I'll tell you what, there's somebody out there that likes it. Because I ain't the only guy streaming your music, and you guys are still getting streaming numbers. So
Facts.
trust me, somebody's listening to your
Facts.
stuff. Somebody wants to hear it.
You can't.
You know what I mean? And who am I to be like, oh no, that guy sucks? Well, no, somebody likes him.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's all about your ear. I can't stand country music for the most part. And guess what? My old man loves it. Whatever, I listen to it. I know some other people that are into country and you wouldn't believe. But it's alright.
Well, you just believe in
Like-
yourself, but
I mean, so speaking of country and music
Yeah.
and different stuff, one of because we're gonna wrap up here. One of my final questions I like to ask. It's just a kind of a teaser, fun one. But I'm actually gonna throw a new question in here too, guys, because I'm gonna do two ones. I got a new finisher. I like this new finisher. And if you guys don't like it, I don't give a shit. It's all about. It's not about. Well, fuck. It is about you. You're the consumer. Not everybody likes snakes and sparklers. All right, so
the references, I was like, y'all got like, if y'all don't be catching some of the small references he says, like, It's like the milkman one.
Oh, shit.
That was funny. That was too funny. Like it used to be the milkman. Like
I was telling him my kids look like the Amazon delivery man used to be the milkman, and if you guys, so three dream collabs.
Dream collabs.
Any
Local,
kind of
here,
genre,
anywhere,
anything,
anything.
alive, dead, a ghost of somebody.
I really want to collab.
Like they could be the producer, or you can get Liberace on the piano,
Okay.
or Chuck Berry on the guitar,
Oh, okay. We're going that. I would
or
like to.
Prince.
Barry White would have been a really good one. It's a really one that I really wish I could collab, just because I got all this comparison to his voice, and so it's one that was like, what was it like? Kanye West, for sure, just because he embodies everything that I already do, production, engineering, artists, and stuff like that.
So-
it'd be,
Do you like fish sticks then?
yeah.
So you're a gay fish?
No. What? No. What? No. What? No. Where did this go?
Well, Kanye.
Where did this go? Hold on. Whoa.
Kanye West likes fish sticks, and he's a gay fish.
I mean, no, I'm not.
Do you see gills? No. So that does not make me a fish.
No,
It's a South Park episode.
I know. I see that. Speaking of the character, no, I see that one.
So we got Barry White.
I definitely called me off for 2 seconds. I was like, wait, hold on, no, like, no.
So we got Barry White.
No to fish sticks, I guess.
We got the gay fish, Kanye West.
Oh, Mike Dean is another one.
All right.
He's a composer. I don't know if anybody, not too many people know who he is, but the people, like, Mike Dean is probably one of the best composers, still alive actually, that I know, or I feel like to this day, like, I could collab with him. Because he's an engineer and he's a producer. He's produced and did stuff for, like, Travis Scott and all them.
Oh, nice.
Drake, a lot of East Coast stuff, Rick Ross, things like that. And so, just his sound overall, like, I know he would get a whole completely different sound out of, you know what I'm saying, my vocals, because that's what mainly we do as engineers is, like, outside of the usual, let's level up, it's like we're trying to figure out, find something that's going to make that song go from here to shoot, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's typically a vocal chain or something like that, so Mike is, like, awesome, like, how he gets Travis to sound like he do, I have no idea. I've been trying to duplicate. I got every last plugin he has. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. And it's, I cannot get that sound. So I don't know how he does it, but that man is a engineer genius. Like, genius.
And this is how you can tell
Like, genius.
Atilli does a little more than just the lyrics, because he picked an engineer on his top 3.
Yeah.
I think
like,
you're the first one out of the 11 or 12 I've done so far that's actually picked an engineer.
That's who's like, man,
That's dope.
like, that's, you gotta trust your engineers, artists, trust your engineers and your producers. You know,
That's their job.
never heard, I'll say this on record, never heard of an acapella album, you know what I'm saying, going Grammys. I never even heard them selling acapella albums. I don't even care. You can say opera.
You may have heard of the Tone Rangers, but that's because of the
Opera does not count. Like, opera does not count because even I'm pretty sure even in there they have some type of flute, little violin going.
Something in the background.
So it's like I've never. It takes the embodiment of all of them, but you know what I'm saying. I never heard of an acapella album. You know, you've heard of plenty of beat tapes. You know what I'm saying, and things like that.
And honest to God, most of you, if you listen to the radio, it's not for the lyrics.
Yeah, you know, it's for the beats. I mean, the first thing that's going to drive you is in the song is always going to be as soon as how does it turn on. So it's the beat, you know what I'm saying? And maybe your vocals, how they come.
Well, the chorus or something, but never the actual verse. Trust
Yeah,
me.
it's
The verse
never
sells
to the verse that it get. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it takes all 3. Like it definitely takes
Now,
all
once
3.
you get the
but
once you get the the hook and the chorus or whatever and the beats, then maybe the verse will get them. But it's
trust your producers and your engineers. Like
trust me, the only reason you listen to Rap God is the beat and the rap God, not because you listen to the entire 17-minute long fucking
Well,
song and know the lyrics.
unless you're J Live,
Well, no. Then eventually you get into it. But
Oh,
the
I'm
first time
saying,
you
let's,
fucking-
let's see how that you
first
heard
time
it.
you heard it, you didn't have the attention
You played
span
that
to
like-
focus on
If
it.
you're him, you played that like 20 times. Like that was a non-stop back to back.
Oh, shit.
Like so.
So to finish up here,
Yeah.
my new thing. Okay, 7 words or less.
Okay.
Describe where you want to go with your music career.
Be the greatest of all time, and whatever it is. I mean, that's important.
Go.
Go. Like at the end of the day, I just want to be. I want not necessarily, I guess, the greatest, but definitely leave a mark. Like, hey, this kid did what he did. Like something like Wu-Tang, kind of, something like that, where like RZA and all them, Kendrick. Even to this point now, Kendrick, where it's like he only released 3 or 4 albums on his label, but you look at it now, and you're like, geez, he's like one of the top. Same thing with J. Cole. He's only had like 5 albums, and honestly, he wasn't around for that long. Like Wayne's been out for, what I'm saying? Like early as you could know Wayne before anything else, but J.
Yeah.
Cole only had a real run at this music for about 10 years. And to be up there and be considered like, hey, these are top
One of the
talent.
top talents.
That's where I'll, what I'm saying, regardless of who's actually number 1 and 2, it's just like I would love to be in that conversation of, hey, like, okay, like, what I'm saying, you like,
You just want to be on somebody's list.
yeah, I want to be somewhere like
Just on that list. I
when
don't care where.
BET is talking and they do their Snoop Dogg and T.I. and all them, they start ranking artists and what I'm saying, what they went through and who's the number 1. It's like at least a consideration in there with who's the greatest is of all time right around now. Like there's love to have like a debate because it'd be cool to see that. Like what I'm saying, people sit around and like to be mentioned and then see them arguing like why and all that, like that, I don't know, I get excited about that shit. So it's like, see what other people's opinions are, look from the outside in. So, something like that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to think straight. What's this, like, 70 cents?
I'll give it to you. That's the first time I dropped this question. You weren't prepared for it. We'll take whatever answer you got. Because I told everybody before, I'm like, just watch the other episodes. It's all the same questions except for that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I thought it's.
I'd like, seen the other ones, and so yeah, I was familiar with the like the 5 people you wish to. That one threw me for a loop because that one I'm like,
yeah, that was my new one. So I was trying
I
something
like that
out.
one,
I'm
though.
gonna keep it though because I think I like it. It just
Yeah.
makes people think. But on that note, Atilli, I want to thank you very much for being here on the
Yes,
Mountain
sir.
Dew Review.
Thank you.
And like always, everybody that comes on, you are officially
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna stick on. I got
tramp stamp approved.
I need one on the. There we go. Walking around.